everyone, and welcome to the first episode of A Dash of Chaos Theory, which is now the rebranded podcast. If you had listened before, my name's Dash, and the original podcast was called A Dash of Chaos, where I talked about a lot of the general media that I enjoyed, whether it was books, movies, TV shows. But now there is a rebranding, and I have a co-host, which is fantastic. And this is all going to be about the Jurassic franchise, which I've just recently kind of gotten back into. Not that I've ever disliked it, but I just am like more brain rotted into it now. So, again, my name is Dash, and if you've listened to my podcast before, I've been in fandoms and everything for 20 plus years, and I'm just a big fan of movies, especially. And obviously the Jurassic franchise, which is why this podcast now exists. And I'm going to introduce my co-host. So Charlie is my co-host. You may have seen them on social media before, but if you could just give a few words about yourself and maybe your handles if you'd like. You don't have to. If you share any of your social media, I'll put it on the description below. So.
Cool. Hi, I'm Charlie. Intros have never been my good thing. Um, I write, I love movies, I love Dash, and that's probably about what I've got at the moment.
All right. Um, so yeah, so we've really been talking about creating a podcast for the Jurassic franchise. Both Charlie and I recently watched Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous as well as Chaos Theory, and obviously that's currently in progress, and that really re-sparked our love for the franchise. Again, not that we stopped liking it ever, but I think I don't want to speak for the both of us, but we have talked about it before. The Jurassic World trilogy left us kind of like cold about the franchise. We just felt that they didn't really add too much to it, especially like for a franchise that was like nearly 20 years later, trying to expand the universe. It just felt kind of, I don't know, cash grabby, I guess. But I don't know if all of them felt like that, but just as an overall, um, they weren't our favorites. But there are moments, and we will talk about them. But the new Jurassic World Rebirth film is coming out this year. So I believe it's July 2nd, 2025 for the US. It might be different around the world, but for US and Canada, that is the release date. And the newest trailer just came out. So we thought that would be a good place to start recording episodes for the podcast. So just general first thoughts, I think it just looks so visually stunning. And I know that's such a common thing for people to say about trailers or like movie shots or whatever, but I just think the dinosaurs look so cool. And I think that's one of my biggest criticisms of the Jurassic World trilogy as well. And when I talk about Jurassic World trilogy, I mean like the Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard films,
Mhm.
just for clarification. And I don't know, they kind of didn't use the best dinosaur designs, which was kind of sad because, like obviously it's a dinosaur franchise. Not that it's all about the dinosaurs, but I feel like the designs of the dinosaurs really lacked imagination in Jurassic World. But seeing these new shots and this new trilogy, it really looks like, or I sorry, it's I don't we don't know if it's a trilogy, just this new movie. It does
Yeah,
look
soon.
like they really thought about what they wanted to look like on screen and to kind of bring back that fear and horror back into the dinosaurs, especially spoilers if you haven't seen the trailer, but like they have that D-Rex design, and I just think it
Mhm.
looks so cool and so terrifying, and especially in this new trailer. So yeah, what were your first thoughts about the new trailer?
Again, visually stunning. Bringing it back to like the island or a island even, and having all the scenery, mountains, green. It was so green.
Hmm.
Um, Dinosaur designs agree. As you were talking, I was thinking about like all of the ones from Jurassic World, and it was like they saved all of the good stuff for their hybrids.
Mm.
Indoraptor looked really good.
Yes, yeah, so did the
No, Atrociraptor
Indominus. I
and
was
the
gonna say
Indominus, yeah.
Scorpius, but I'm like, no, that's
That's chaos food.
No, Camp Cretaceous, yeah, but sorry, the
Yeah.
Indominus, but yes.
Which one's the one from Fallen Kingdom? that's the
Indoraptor, yeah, you're
Indoraptor.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm thinking of the right one.
Yeah.
Like that one looked incredible, but then you think of the raptors, and it's like,
Hmm.
okay, so seeing the raptor in this trailer, well, in the original teaser trailer,
Hmm.
looking a lot like the raptors from Jurassic Park 3. It's like, oh, we're back.
Yeah,
We're so
yeah,
back.
yeah. I feel like that's something we kept saying every time we're seeing anything from Rebirth. We're just like, oh, we're so back right now.
We're back, baby.
Yeah. No, totally.
So,
And I think it's just a testament. And I don't want to be one of those people that are, oh, I hated Jurassic World because I liked Jurassic Park so much. It's not one of those things. Like, it's
no.
not a nostalgia factor. I just think that if you're gonna add to the franchise, like, just add to the franchise type thing. And I do mean that not just visually, but also with your themes and with their characters. The original trilogy had such strong characters, especially the first movie. Obviously, the three of them are so iconic. And that,
Legends.
yeah, and that just really goes back to, again, like bringing them back for Dominion. It just felt kind of weird. It did, like, it was great to see them, but it didn't, I don't know, I felt like there wasn't a lot of heart in that. It was just trying to get them in. But
Yeah.
with Jurassic World and like Jurassic World Rebirth, um, and seeing what they put in the trailer, like I'm already into this new trio. We don't know anything about them, but I think their names are Zora, Henry, and oh, I'm forgetting the last
Oh,
one.
I was literally
I should
reading
have
this.
had notes.
I know, me
I'm
too.
like
It's
making
fine.
it. Is his name Daniel? I'm making it up. I
Uh,
know the actors, but like
Duncan.
character. Duncan's. I knew it was D name. I was like, I'm making it up. But I'm already, interested in who these characters are going to be and how they fit into the Jurassic franchise and just in this world in general. I just think they just feel more along, like not trying to create like a main character superhero type thing, which is kind of what it really felt like with Chris Pratt.
For real. Alpha
But
male kind of vibe.
yeah, and I don't get that even though there's, like two male characters again and like it just doesn't feel that way. I could be wrong. This is a trailer. Maybe they're trying to show like a certain thing because that's
Mm.
usually what happens, but I think this second Rebirth trailer, the first one got me interested for sure, but the second one, oh my God, just that intro with the
Oh,
D-Rex, oh, it gives
the
such
music.
the music, the horror, like and I remember watching the trailer and just thinking like, oh, like this very scared like this like white man just like terrorized and he's like begging like, oh, let me out. And I was like, oh, that
Oh,
what a strong
perfect.
way to start. And like if the movie starts off kind of in that, which I assume it most likely will because that's going to be the flashback to like why
Yeah.
this island was being used.
It's kind of
Um
like the raptor scene from OG, isn't it?
yeah,
You
yeah, no,
kind of seen.
exactly. With yeah, everything, right? Like
Yeah.
exactly right when you started. You don't even see the raptor in the original opening scene of Jurassic Park. It's already caused fear. The music, the lighting, the sounds that it makes. And
Oh,
again, just one of the workers at Jurassic Park, like he's just getting dragged in and everything. Yeah, so definitely that horror element, I think, is something that the Jurassic World trilogy did lack. I never really felt, although like you mentioned, the Indoraptor had that
yes.
vibes because the score was really good in that third act and the
The
angles
entire
they
like
used.
the gothic horror vibe. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, no, it's fine.
But
Yeah.
like it was the gothic horror vibe. And then
Hmm.
again, it's like the entire film, I kind of like leaned into that a bit
Hmm.
more.
Hmm.
Amazing. I said to you when I watched it that that scene I loved it up until I realized that Maisie like actively chose to hide in the bed, and then it kind of
Yeah.
ruined it for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that,
No, I know, but I think that that's like a great moment in Fallen Kingdom because I think I remember watching it in like cinemas and kind of not that I was bored, but I was just like, okay, like I don't really know when this movie's gonna pick up. The emotional beats of that film were not hitting like me personally. Again, I know other people feel differently. This is just my own personal opinion. And again, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad movie overall. I think Dominion's a bad movie overall. But Fallen Kingdom, I think probably of the trilogy has some of the best moments that do really um kind of utilize every part of what makes the Jurassic franchise exciting for people. So again, that, like you were saying, the gothic horror elements and just, the score and just the, not just the gothic horror in the sense of what you're seeing on screen, but even just the like setting of it, like having it in the Lockwood Manor, that
Yeah.
already, because you're putting them in an enclosed space. Yes, it's a large building like manor, but now you have all these dinosaurs in a smaller area, very enclosed, feels very tight. You're not like on a whole island, or you're not like out there in the world. So, and I feel like that's what Rebirth understood, or this
Mm.
like where they're moving forward, because with Jurassic World they tried to expand it so now that the dinosaurs are like living in the world,
Everywhere.
which thematically I have problems with, but that's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Um, I think just knowing they're going to be on an island again, and it's technically an island we've never seen in the franchise, and it's in the Atlantic too, so it's not like um, an island in like where Isla Sorna is. It's like all these other like
Yeah.
it's not that setting, so we're going to see different types of dinosaurs, but it is like they are kind of stuck there. Like, and you're gonna feel that, and I love that idea. And I think what's also crazy is that there's so many shots in this trailer in particular, and as well as the previous trailer, that are nods to scenes from the books, that
Yeah.
I'm surprised after 6 movies and what is it, 9 seasons now of like Camp Cretaceous, or no, not nine, uh 8 seasons
Like,
of Camp
okay.
Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, that they're still able to bring some scenes from the books that haven't been explored in a visual media. So of course, like the creators, director, writer, they've been talking about the raft scene. That is like a huge scene from Jurassic Park. But
Yes.
another one that they added is the gas station scene. That's a scene from The Lost World. Um,
Okay.
I don't know if you've read the Lost World book. I
I
know
ha
you've read,
I
yeah,
have it, but
yeah.
not yet.
Yeah. I know you've read Jurassic Park, but and to be quite honest with you, I might have to like reread these books before the movie comes out, because
For
they are
real.
the memory is pretty shoddy. But yeah, that the gas station scene is, if I remember, it doesn't make sense to me in Jurassic Park, so I'm pretty sure it is from The Lost World.
There's
Um,
definitely no gas. 'Cause I only read it like what, 2 months ago, 3 months
yeah,
ago. There's
yeah.
no gas station scene.
Yeah, because I think in the movie there's a quick clip of Sarah and Ian like in the gas station when they're parking, and they have like the baby Rex with them,
Mm.
but they don't like expand on it like it is in the book. So that is definitely straight from The Lost World then. And that
Okay.
looks really cool because it's also showing, oh my God, one of my favorite like weird designs is like the Mutadon, the
Yeah.
Raptor Pterodon hybrid. I know like people might be kind of tired of the hybrids, but like contextually this makes sense. If this was a testing site, like that actually makes sense versus like
Yeah.
the, X amount of years later. And I think it just looks so funny and like, but scary at the same time. And I think it's interesting because I think in the first trailer they had Jonathan Bailey's character do the whole like, oh, don't tell me it's a raptor, and he's like, oh, it's a raptor, and they only showed
Yeah.
like the claws.
The claw.
So I think in my head I was assuming it was just going to be like a regular raptor scene, but it now seems like it's this Mutadon scene, which is so cool. Just the idea of like raptors with wings is just terrifying. So
Can you imagine?
yeah, and I think again that really just adds on to that horror element that's really really present. And I just, again, and even seeing all the merchandise that they're coming out with, just the pictures of the
Oh my
dinosaurs, and
God.
just right, they look so cool. The raptor design looks so cool.
The
So
little quills.
quills, yeah, I think, yeah, that quill design that was in JP3, like, yeah.
I'm so glad it's back.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of dog on Jurassic Park 3, but there's so like
The
over
the
time
designs.
I think people are warming to it. I've always loved Jurassic Park 3. I always thought it was really cool. I think it has such hilarious moments that cut the tension of how terrifying that actually is. Like the idea that, I mean, obviously now Camp Cretaceous is like these kids survived for a year, but
Yeah.
at the time, no, I'm
Therapy?
forgetting. Yeah.
OG?
Yeah, at the time, like that kid survived for what was it, like 8 weeks? I don't even remember his name. And I've recently watched it, and just there's so many characters now that it's hard.
I
And
know.
we've been talking about which kids are like the most useful too, and like I can't remember. All I'm thinking is like Timmy and Lex. Like
No,
that's yeah. But
it was it Kirby?
we should have Googled probably had some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Um
we'd talk about this.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Well,
poor
I mean,
Kirby.
it
No,
just
poor
sort of happened.
Kirby.
But yeah, I mean, again, and also like in Rebirth, there's a family. Did you look up the name?
It was Eric.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, right. Yes, yes. Thank you. Yeah,
Oops.
a whole child they're looking for. I've forgotten the name of. Um, but yes, with Rebirth, you come back again. There is a family there. Of course, there's a child on the island because why wouldn't there be? Um, which is really cool because just that shot also of like under the raft. Again, it's like I guess I'd never thought of how much in Chaos Theory like Yaz's like all night long is
Uh,
kind of possibly a nod to that. I don't know if they were trying to, but after seeing like the shot underneath the raft, I was like, oh hey, like, you know, that is similar.
yeah.
So I wasn't thinking about that when I watched season two of Chaos Theory, but it just made me think about it. So I don't think it's necessarily a nod to it, but like obviously this raft scene is directly a nod to it. And yeah, just, the T-Rex is swimming. We're
Uh,
like we're in for
and
a ride.
like it looks huge as well. That T-Rex looks so much bigger than like I can remember it being in like OG JP.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's also just like they're just being really good with the angles just
Mm.
to show. It could be bigger. Like I can't really because I think like in original JP like in that car scene it's pretty big. Like it
It's yeah.
yeah, but I think that's a if I recall, I believe it's a thing where the Rex kind of changes size in general, based on
Yeah.
what they want to do with it in the scene. So I think it might just be one of those things where they are kind of making it a little bit larger to just
Yeah.
again to add that fear, to add that tension on screen. Um, and yeah, I don't know. There's just so much to look at. And the Mosasaurus, oh my God,
My
that's
God.
huge. No, that's definitely bigger. That's bigger than the
No,
one.
yes. It's I mean it was already like massive anyway in
Yeah.
original Jurassic World. Then they definitely upped the size for Camp Cretaceous.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
they just said, nope, make it bigger.
Yeah. And it's so cool. I love seeing it kind of have those like more whale-like movements. So it's kind of doing like the jump where it's upside down and
Yeah.
everything. So um yeah, and that I think obviously that's gonna be one of their big action sequences. I think I'm not a fan of Scarlett Johansson, but like I
She
think
looks so good in it though.
yeah, I think she's gonna pull this off really, really well. Like it is, if you know me, I am not her fan, and I haven't been her fan for years. But the funny thing is that it's not like I just don't really like her. I think she's actually a pretty decent actress. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of films that she's in that I love and I own, like on physical media on DVD or like Blu-ray or something. So I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I was just like, I remember when she got cast, I was like, is this gonna
We were
put me off it again? Because it was kind of the same thing with Chris Pratt when like he originally got cast. I was like, but like let me wait and see. But then with this, it's a little bit more like, okay, well, I know she can act. That's not really a question. So and from everything she's seen and what Zora kind of seems like on screen in the like few seconds we've seen her, she's like, she's sarcastic and she has like the quick whips. Like these are all my favorite things that I love in characters, regardless of gender, but like also especially in like women for on screen. I just think it's really funny and the fact that this kind of just again goes back to just traditional this includes Bryce is that you just have these like women in the franchise and they are always highlighted no matter what and whether or not I agree with the writing of these characters they are always there, so it is nice to see that she is continuing in that tradition and she gets the iconic run line.
Run.
Yeah, which is so fun because now we have like in all four we've had a woman, like a female character. I hate saying female character, but like yeah, a character who's a woman
Yeah, there we go.
um has now said it. So you have obviously like Laura Dern's character, and then you had Julianne Moore and Bryce Dallas Howard, and now Scarlett Johansson, and
Yep.
Oh my God, you know what I realized? I forgot in my post I forgot to put Julianne Moore.
William Moore, obviously.
Wow, what
I was like, wow,
as I
you
said
missed
it.
yes.
Oh, ouch, ouch. Okay. I think it's because technically they're the same franchise that like I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, Laura Dern. But like Julianne Moore does say it too. So
Yeah.
I or does she? Now I'm second guessing. Maybe I did think about that. Either way, I feel like she does. I feel like she does on
We'll,
the island. Uh
we'll go back and rewatch it.
yeah, and it's funny because I've been rewatching so much Jurassic content. Like Jurassic
Mm.
Park, I can tell you front to back. I know that movie no matter what. Like I can tell you every detail about that movie because it's just been, burned into my brain.
Yeah.
But any of the other ones, like just, even though I've watched them quite a bit, um it's still like a lot of it's like hazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, this is getting off I knew it was going to get off topic. We're trying to talk about the trailer, but there's just so much to
It's
talk
really
about.
good.
Yeah,
It's all connected.
exactly. Yeah, so and I think the score that's in the trailer.
Uh,
I think it's really cool that they've brought back that Jurassic Park theme and it's in this kind of not I don't even want to say grander. It's just in a different like it feels different. It's obviously bigger in how
mm,
it sounds. It's fuller, but like being able to recognize those notes in the trailer and not thinking that they're like trying to change it or anything, like it works with the trailer very, very well. And I think it's important to bring back the theme kind of, but I don't necessarily think that these movies need them. You can create a new theme. You don't have to, as iconic as John Williams is, I think I've seen people change the theme for the same sort of IP or content. So like what comes to mind is like Man of Steel, right? They completely
yeah.
changed the music, and I know people were like up in arms about not using the John Williams score, but I don't think it's necessary because you are trying to move it to a different era. So,
Mm,
but bringing back nods to it kind of makes sense because they're going back to one of the islands that was used by
that's it.
Jurassic Park. Yeah, and it was even in the D-Rex scene to see like InGen again was very cool because like
Yeah.
we've been so used to Biosyn for like the past X amount of time with these newer movies as well as like the TV shows. So to see like
Yeah.
InGen again was like, oh yeah, like that's cool. To see like these
Remember
are
you.
it's like yeah, these are the people that messed everything up for everyone. Um and I really hope because they are kind of bringing everything back to that, I really want the theme of these films to kind of go back to like the dinosaurs aren't really supposed to be here. And and
Ideally, yes.
yeah, and I just feel like that was kind of Jurassic World lost the plot. They kind of wanted to switch it to be like, well, they're here now. So how do we deal with that? And I think that is a cool theme. I just feel like they didn't go like 100% with it in the Jurassic World film. So if they had like really committed to it because and not had like Ian Malcolm like constantly being like they shouldn't do this, blah 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 blah, which I agree with, but then like they just didn't really commit to it. So because every time they're like, oh, the dinosaur should be here, like the worst thing in the world happens, and then they're just like, maybe
Yeah.
they shouldn't. And I'm like, okay, but just choose one because either one is
Like,
fine. You just have to commit to it. But and it kind of seems like Rebirth is kind of wanting to recenter itself, which I really appreciated. I just want these films to have like a
beam.
consistency a consistency
Yeah.
to them and go 100%. If you're gonna do it like that's the whole thing about the Jurassic franchise. Like if you're gonna do it like that's the whole like I think of Spinosaurus with the cell phone. Logically
Uh,
would you hear the cell phone? No, but you decided to do it, so you're gonna do it.
you owned it.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
instead he was like, dinosaurs should live here. Oh no, locusts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But this does feel it feels like a more a smaller story in that sense, like a big universe, but like smaller, character driven. And I think,
Contained.
yeah, and that's where the Jurassic franchise thrives the most, whether it's in the original Jurassic Park films, Chaos Theory, Camp Cretaceous, like that close knit wanting to focus on the characters as opposed to the entire world. Like the world itself is already big. Like like you have dinosaurs. Yeah, I don't know how much bigger you can create as a universe because that's like always going to be endless possibilities. You don't have to show all of these endless possibilities, but like it has always, implied all of those things, right? So I hope, at least I hope, just based on the trailer that it is smaller, and it is more character focused. And it does seem like it's gonna do that. I don't know if you agree with that, but that's just the impression that I'm
Absolutely.
getting. Yeah. But
Like just from who, like knowing who's like writing and directing it, it's like, yeah, you're going back to like character driven
mhm.
roots.
I'll wait still. Like I'm always very weary of like whatever people say outside of the actual product. Like I try not to listen to that stuff because to me it's you can say all these things in interviews because like you're trying to promote your film in a certain way. So I'll yeah, even though that does like give me like I'm just like ooh like interviews and stuff, and I do watch them and I do read them. In the end of it, it is always still going to be what's the final product, what's on screen, um,
True.
and that's what's the most important. It doesn't matter anything else, or because I hate when like like directors are like, oh, it's implied. I was like, was it like,
Was it though?
are you sure? Or things like that. So yeah, we're about a month away, like 5 weeks away from it, and I'm just so
Mhm.
excited. It's gonna be
Oh,
fun to have another Jurassic movie on screens. I'm sad that it's not going to be an IMAX. I feel like that's a lost opportunity.
no, I'll still take Dolby though.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Is there anything kind of like wish list wise that you do want from the Jurassic like franchise moving forward? Now that we've seen the trailer, at least for the movies, like Chaos Theory is a whole other thing and it's already
Hmm.
done. So we're just waiting for the last season. But just from this film or maybe even future films, is there anything that you're really kind of wanting or
I
hoping
think
for?
I know we've talked about it like briefly in the past, but like if they can work in references to like the new Blast Six in
Yeah,
some way, just as like a little Easter egg, that'd be
yeah,
ideal.
yeah.
Mostly, I just want to see more Dilophosaurus. That's all
Oh
I
yeah,
want.
the second trailer didn't show the Dilos, and
Nothing.
yeah, but it wasn't the first one, so we know they're
It
there.
was immediately hooked me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just open minded. I just don't. No more locusts. No more weird giant bugs.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
that.
That's
I
so
feel,
true. Yeah. There's just no more locusts. Yeah.
no more locusts. But also the whole why do the I know again we talked about this a bit off camera, but with why is it that these dinosaurs on this island survive
Mm.
versus all the ones dying
Mm-hmm.
on the mainlands? Because I like the Doctor Wu human DNA theory.
Mm-hmm.
It's ever since I've heard that I've been completely locked in, and
Yeah.
it'd be cool if that is the case or if it's something along those lines.
That would be incredible if it was the whole, yeah, if these dinosaurs had human DNA in them and that's the reason why they die off because like we suck as a species.
We're
So,
awful.
yeah.
It kind of comes back to like the Scorpius design because I was
Yeah.
showing a friend because obviously I got that toy from Smith's the other week, the other
Mm-hmm.
day even, and I was showing them like a clip of the Scorpius and like it looks like a human. I'm like exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I
Yeah.
want more of that
No,
kind of lore.
no, totally. And I that's the thing is like I'm always willing to expand in this universe, and that's the thing is like I don't I have no problems with them wanting to go further and doing this, but like it just has to be done in a way that feels like it's still along the lines of the series. So
Sure.
yeah, it just doesn't have to feel very out of left field. Again, the locusts.
Uh,
The locusts. Yeah, no, yeah, I definitely want. I think that is a big one too. Yeah, why are these dinosaurs, especially if they were the I just first of all, the fact that they were the most dangerous and of course like I'm assuming it's going to be Hammond was just like, well, don't
yeah,
destroy them. This is and of course that's perfect. Love that. But yeah, why how are they surviving? Because I think that implication is it's like climate change, right? Like they're just not the
Mm-hmm.
dinosaurs aren't able to adapt properly to the environment, which makes sense because like humans are
That's what look
super
they said in. It's what they
yeah
said in Jurassic Park 1. So
yeah,
you
and
know,
like humans are super destructive anyway. Like that would mess them up. Like, do we think that like if creatures like dinosaurs were so powerful that like humans would suddenly be like, no more deforestation? Like,
from real, like.
yeah, not a chance, not a chance. But yeah, I hope they do have a good explanation for it. I'll be a little bit disappointed if it's kind of they brush it off. But again, it is the original writer from Jurassic Park and Lost World, so I feel like it was the universe he started, and now
Mhm.
he's kind of coming back to. So again, I hope, just hopes, that it's just tied very well together. And overall, I am excited for it. Like, I've genuinely haven't been excited for a Jurassic film since I was excited for the first one, Jurassic World,
No, same.
because obviously returning to it was very exciting. And honestly, I don't think Jurassic World is that bad. Like, I think it's a great, like
Mm.
dinosaur movie. I feel like they had a good starting point and they probably shouldn't have launched to a different space after Jurassic World one, but yeah, that film it was exciting. It did bring back the wonder and the also again the idea that like, oh, but they made a park anyway. Like
It's
that
so
to
good.
me is like interesting. Like that was cool, and they probably it was a good launching pad. I just feel like they launched the wrong way.
Yeah.
um, um, but yeah, so I do really hope that everything ties together. I know they're not retconning the Jurassic World films, which I appreciate. Even if I don't like them that much, I that's the thing is I don't want these things to just pretend like something else doesn't exist because like you've already established it. So, and this is
Own
all like
it.
yeah, own it. This is your canon universe. So clearly they're owning whatever came previously, and they're going to move forward from there. So that is what makes me excited. Um, and yeah, Dilophosaurus, of course. I hope they get a
Uh,
big scene. Maybe because they're more dangerous, they'll like spit something else. Like what? Who knows?
like what? Don't say fire.
No. I wasn't gonna say fire. Would it be interesting if they had like Dilophosauruses on the island that like didn't have the frills because like that's the actual that'd be kind of interesting,
It
you know?
would, but I think it would still hurt me a little bit.
Yeah. I think I again that's the commitment to that design is that like they've all like it's already been proven that the frills don't exist. But this
Yeah,
franchise is like screw it. Even if we
no.
try to be more accurate with the other dinosaurs, all the Dilophosauruses are gonna have these frills because it looks cool. And I'm like, see, that's the type of commitment I expect. Um
I think we're thinking about the Dilophosaurus because obviously there's like labs and stuff there.
mhm,
You know that one sequence in it's Aftermath, isn't it? The VR game.
mhm.
That sequence with the Dilophosaurus,
It was so
but in the
fun.
movies. But imagine that like in the movies,
Yeah.
them having to sneak around, being stalked in the dark by them.
That was that, yeah. No, I thought that was like honestly the Dolphins we're talking about the game Jurassic World Aftermath, which is so much fun.
Oh,
And I feel like the Dilophosaurus part was so much harder than the Raptors. I was just like, whatever,
oh,
man. I was just like, I don't know where they're coming from. They're in the vents. Like I would watch or sorry, I would play the game with headphones on, and so you can like hear like things in the background, and then I would have to like move my headphones, be like, is that in the game or is that like am I hearing something else? So like again, this game is like a very small kind of like you know like AR or
not
sorry
even
VR game.
canon.
Yeah, and it's not even considered canon. They retconned that. It was supposed to be,
They
but
have.
they
I know,
retcon.
it was
Yeah,
supposed to be.
yeah. But see again, it's that like closedness of it where it's like, okay, like I feel the horror, I feel the tension. Like I was sweating playing that game, like multiple times. Like my
Yeah,
heart would like be like racing playing that game, and it's like that's the feeling that I want watching these movies. Because I think that's fun, and I feel like Rebirth is going to do that. Rebirth it just feels based on a trailer. Again, it's hard to base on a trailer because again, they're trying to sell the movie. So they might be showing you all these like best bits and then the rest of it is just like what the heck happened.
no.
But I don't feel like that's what's going on. I just but I do hope that what they showed us in the trailer is just such a quick taste, like small taste of kind of everything else that's going to happen. So,
Mhm.
and yeah, and I think we're gonna grow to like really love these characters. I'm really excited to know their backgrounds. Obviously both like Zora and Duncan's character.
Duncan.
She literally screams his name in the trailer, and I still couldn't remember his name. Um, he they both have like sort of like military type security background, something like that. So
Mm.
I'm really interested to see how that fits into like Jurassic, like the previous Jurassic Worlds, like was it military because like they were trying to get rid of dinosaurs, they were trying to work with like etc. Um, and obviously you got like Jonathan Bailey in his glasses, so just kidding.
He's there to look pretty.
Yeah, which I love. I love that for him. I think that's utilizing him to his full potential.
He's the Ian
um,
Malcolm of the trio.
yeah, which I love, which
Just,
I love.
just look pretty.
Yeah, he is. So yeah, do you have any kind of like final thoughts or just kind of wrapping it up? I feel like we'll go into more detail, obviously, once the movie
Is
is
out. I
yeah,
know.
is out, but this was just kind of
I I saw a TikTok this morning, and it was of that popcorn bucket that they're getting in
oh my
America,
God, see,
and
oh
I'm still really mad that we don't get anything. We don't
I
get any
know.
cool things like that in the UK.
No, you don't get them in Canada either. Very rarely will we get something similar, but because those are so specific to their like cinema chains in the US too,
Yeah.
like each one will have specific things, and I'm like, bring the capitalism here. Uh,
At
yeah,
most, we get like the metal popcorn bucket.
yeah,
I can't even
that's
eat popcorn,
yeah.
but you know,
Well, that's the thing is like here they allow you to just buy the bucket. They're like, do you want the bucket or do you want the bucket without the popcorn? I'm like, oh, cool. I'll get popcorn, but like, you know.
mm,
But yeah, so I think yeah, that was just kind of our general thoughts. We want more horror. The
oh,
D-Rex
so
design's
much more.
pretty cool. The dinosaurs are awesome. Smaller story, just more focus on characters and just tie everything together. Make sure it is consistent. So I think that kind of summarizes what
Yeah, the
we
vibes.
want. Yeah, the vibes. Which is so much fun. And it's been like I'm so excited to continue doing these episodes because
Uh,
like it's just Jurassic. It's just so
it's
fun and there's so much to talk about. Clearly, we couldn't even like stay on track. So hopefully in future episodes we will try to stay a bit more on track. I kind of wanted this one to be a bit more just us, you know,
free
vibing off
for
each
all.
other. Yeah, because it's, you know, it's our intro episode and it'll just be fun. It
Yeah.
kind of just really lets us get our thoughts out there. But if you stayed here that long, thank you for listening. Hopefully
Thank
our
you for
ranting wasn't too crazy. I promise or we'll try to be a bit more focused in future episodes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
Possibility. But
maybe.
yeah. But if you did like what you hear, make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channel. All the social medias will be at the bottom. We might be moving away from Twitter because Twitter's kind of broken. But if anything changes, it'll just be in the description. So yeah, thank you for listening to our first episode, and we will be back soon.